Yeah, and honestly, that could be a little overwhelming thinking about, okay, I don't really have much experience and or training in this. I have my legal education, but what do I do when that first client walks in the door? And that's, I think, highlights the importance of having a network or some type of mentoring relationship established as you're looking at doing your own thing, so that you can connect with someone who's maybe been doing things a little bit longer and they can share what they've learned across their time, yeah, even if it's not in a firm context. And I think that is some of the value that you can have by going into a firm, be that a big firm or a smaller firm, getting that training of, okay, how do I take all these things that I learned in law school and actually apply them to the day-to-day needs of legal needs of the people I'm serving. And I think there's a lot of me that goes, boy, I kind of forgot how much I had to learn coming out of law school and to be ready. I do remember distinctly the feeling I had when I was signing my first appearance on behalf of a client, and the responsibility. It was like, wow, I'm representing this person in a lawsuit. This is a big deal and a big responsibility. And now I think of an appearance like, I'll just get the appearance on file. We gotta do. But that was sort of the first big document that I had put my name on as an attorney with the full license number and all that stuff. And it was like, boy, this is the start of that journey. And it's really having all of that background and going, okay, thinking about, boy, I've got to start this on my own and not have any resource. Like I say, it can be a bit overwhelming. So I think it would be really good if you're planning on doing that, going out on your own, setting up shop in maybe your hometown, which happens to be a smaller community, making sure that you have that network of attorneys around you that you can reach out to, ask questions of either the local bar association or something like that to get you connected.
Yeah, and I think one of the things that is mentioned in the article is uh, getting an internship or a clerkship with a law firm after your 1L or 2L year so that you can get that experience in a law firm. And, you know, think about uh, in the rural areas, if you could get an internship or clerkship at a rural law firm, you're probably going to get significant work to handle, and you're going to get that experience so that after you graduate from law school and you pass the bar, you can step in and really be a meaningful contributor to the work there in the small law office in a rural community. And I think you can provide more value to that community by having that background of a summer or two working with that law firm. So I would encourage people to look at that as an option, as just see if you can find a rural law firm and see if you can help them out.
Yeah, and encouragement to those smaller law firm owners to be thinking ahead and providing for that. We're heading into this fall winter season, and you need to be thinking about next summer and when kids are going to be, I call them kids, they're young adults, I suppose, but yeah, they're coming out of law school, coming out of their 1L year, coming out of their 2L year, and they're going to be looking for those opportunities. And so if you can connect with the schools to say, hey, yeah, we're thinking about this process, and figure out how can you get down to the schools to interview or set up those conversations to potentially find candidates, start prepping your budget now so that there's some funds available for that internship potentially, right? Because that can be an incentive to bring somebody in if they know they're going to get paid for it. And you're starting to develop that pipeline down the road. And I think the first time you do it, it's probably going to be a little more difficult because you've never done it before, right? You don't know what to do. But the second time and the third time then kind of builds on that, and it models the larger firm context where they have summer associates and summer recruiting and all the different things that they're trying to get folks into their building, so to speak, and into their firm. And we do it on a little bit smaller scale when you're smaller, but thinking ahead, now is a good time to start planning for that as you wrap up this year and start thinking about what's going to happen next year.